Welcome to Focus Garage. Andres here. Today we're going to talk about the most important mod for this trip for the 2014 R1, which is the seat. Seat is very important. It's either going to make it or break it for this trip for me. Obviously this is a super sport. It's not meant to be for a long journey, stuff like that. It's meant for like a weekend cruise or a day at the track and stuff like that. So because of that reason, it does not have a very comfy seat. It's the whole idea for the bike is keep it lightweight as possible. So comfort is like way down in the list. So we're gonna try to do something to help me with this trip. I looked through a lot of comments, reviews, and product review videos on the internet. For me, Corbin was the seat that stand up the most. There was a lot more reviews on it for the R1 with how comfortable it is and all that stuff. I have done a long trip with the stock seat. My maximum range was 450 miles. This was about an entire day event, so I had like fuel stops, I had like stop to look at the view or food and stuff. So you can't really truly say that it was a perfect true 450 mile non-stop. So there were a lot of stops, and like once I stopped and relax 5-10 minutes and get back on it, and it was fine. I was okay for another fuel stop, but I think for 1,000 mile it's not going to be okay. And after that we're going to do an extra 1,500 mile for the next 3-4 days. So it's going to be a lot of fatigue on the stock. One option that I looked at was modifying my stock seat. However, that was not the case for me because of my height. I do have really short legs, so putting an extra padding in there will not help me. I'm already tippy-toeing with this bike, so that was already crossed off, because that was like one of the things a lot of people were talking about, modifying your seat with a better material and just rocking the stock seat, modify rocking the stock seat. The other option was the Yamaha seat, the comfort seat that they sell, the gel seat, whatever they call it. There was a lot of reviews about it. However, it was not something along the way of long journeys. It was always like, oh, I could do 200 miles, or I could do an entire trip with like no problem. So I didn't really see anything with a long one. The best one I found is the Corbin. The Corbin seat, besides the R1, they make a lot of seats for every other bike out there, and people love it. People love this seat, and they put a lot of miles on this. And I do have a couple of friends coming to this journey that already picked up Corbin seat, and they're like, oh my god, it's a day and night difference. So with that encouragement, I bite the bullet and bought a Corbin seat. It's expensive. It's not a cheap mod. However, it's a mod that I probably will not regret buying. Like I said, I have done a lot of miles on this bike. I mean, once I go out on a weekend, like a weekend day, I don't come home till like 200 to 300 miles averaging, and my back hurts a bit. It could be because of my positioning and all, but mostly because of the seat, because there's no padding, and like every bump, everything just gets you really hard. So I have the box in front of me. We're gonna open it up, take a look at the material. We're gonna compare the stock versus the Corbin, and then we're gonna install it and do a quick rip around the block. It's raining a little bit. I might wait till tomorrow maybe when it's nicer out to do the rip. And then obviously once this trip is done, I will give my opinion about the seat, because this is going to be a true review of the product. Is it meant to be taking 2,500 miles within the span of 4 days, but the initial 1,000 miles is less than 24 hours? We're going to see. It's going to be tough for the bike and for me, and hopefully this seat will make it better. So without further ado, let's open this box, take a look inside what's in it, and compare it to the stock one. Well, here's the box. I opened up a little bit to help with the opening up the box. It does come with a cover like this, and there's like bubble wrapping around it so your stuff is protected. Let's close this real quick so we can put the seat. Alright, so I got the one with the carbon texture on the front and the side. You can customize this and with red stitching. I tried to match this red stitching, the color to the bike to make it, less not OEM. I tried to make it as much as OEM as possible, and I do have the carbon written black, so you can customize it however you want. They have a lot of options out there for you to customize it. So right away I can feel it's like a lot more padding here, and it's comfier than, it's softer than the stock seat, and you have these adjustable brackets right here to adjust the height of the seat, and the back is like hard plastic with rubbers over here, so it will grip the bike pretty good, so it won't move, and it attaches to your bike just like the OEM style. You have these two bolts, Allen bolts on the bike that you attach the seat to. So let's look at the stock one versus the Corbin one, and you can see that it does have a skinnier side over here, help me with my legs, and just looking over here is a little bit more thicker, maybe like a half an inch, maybe quarter inch thicker than the OEM one. I did give my size, so my height and my weight and my inseam, so they might have perfected this to my spec, I would say. It does say on their website, if you're not sure about the stock padding, the thickness of it, or not the thickness, but the how soft it is, you could give your dimension and they will try to match it for you. They usually have a stock form if you don't give anything, and they might just give you that. That could be a thicker, so I don't know. I did my custom one, so that portion I am not 100% sure about it. But let's turn this over. You do have exactly the same mounting points. This seat, I don't believe you can adjust it for your height, but this one you could, because of those adjustment points. As far as I can tell, that's for those are for that. And this has, like, you can see where this has like attachment points to the, like where it rubs to the bike. This one has rubbers around it, so it's a lot better fitment, I think it would be, and it won't slide around that much. It shouldn't with the bolts, but So let's put it on the bike. Installation is pretty straightforward. There are two bolts over here. You just lift this side up and then just install it, and then we'll do a ride and a quick ride and a review. I know some people were saying that this needs to be break-in because this foam is really thick, but as far as I can tell, it's pretty soft. And this one has like almost no material. Look at this one versus this. So yeah, let's go ahead and put it on. So here it is installed on the bike. You can tell that this pattern right here kind of matches to this pattern, so it kind of flows very well with the bike. And then this line over here that flows it to the back. To me, it does look like the same red, but probably might be a shade of off. I can't really tell. As far as I can tell, it's exactly the same color. So for that, I am very pleased with it. I did sit on it. It's pretty comfy. My first initial thoughts. I will do a quick ride and come back and give you guys my opinion, because I know how the stock one feels. I put about 5,000 miles on it, so I can tell right away if this is comfier or not. After riding about 25 to half hour, I could tell that there's much more foam in there, and it handles the bumps a lot better than the stock one. And also, for some reason, I can position myself better. It could be just my size, and this is just helping me with it. I know a lot of people would love the stock seat, and this might be adding a couple of pounds to the bike, but I still have the stock seat. If I want to go back to it, I can always go back to it. But as far as for this trip, this is going to be a really good upgrade for the bike. I will put more miles on it before the trip to break it in, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't need to be breaking. It's significantly better. If it's going to get better, that's even better, I guess. But I mean, just looking at it, it looks so nice. It flows with the bike. I think Corbin did a great job with this seat. And also, this video is not sponsored by them. I wish it was, because it's pretty expensive. I do want to get the rear pillion seat. It does look comfy as well for the 2-up rides. But as of now, that's the seat most important. So that's why I got that. So after this trip, like I said in the earlier of the video, I will do a thumbs up or thumbs down for the seat. I am 90% sure, unless something goes wrong, it's gonna be a thumbs up for me, because it's day and night, just like everybody else was talking about. It's as soon as my butt touched that seat, it was heaven. So it's gonna be really nice upgrade. I'm just keep saying it because I'm very happy with the product. So far, we have one more mod for this bike, and then we will be ready for the trip. I am very excited for this trip. It's going to be a personal endurance thing. We're gonna probably have some problems on the way, but hopefully nothing major. We're trying to see the future problems, but you never know. For that, for that reason, continue following this trip with us, Mike and I, and four more friends. We're gonna have an MT10. We're gonna have a couple of baggers and a Honda CB11. So that's gonna be interesting. CB1100. So it's a newer one, but we'll see how that one goes. And all of us are preparing for this trip. We're trying to make our bikes comfortable, except the bagger boys, but we are trying to make, and the Mike's FZ1 obviously, we're trying to make it comfortable, and small mods to make it more user friendly throughout the trip. So thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions about the Corbin seat or any other mods that we have done to the bike, you guys could comment in the down below, or you guys could reach us at Facebook or Instagram. We're pretty fast to respond. So thanks for watching. Kudos.